What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Chris, man. We are here at the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. It is Thursday, May 16th, 2024. I am your host. My name is Chris Drummond. I am a sports reporter based out of Minnesota. I'm also a casino host, and I also do this podcast where I bring people on to talk about their why, whether it's in my field of journalism, podcasting, whether it's in other genres, music, entertainment, medical field, news, or even a different kind of occupation. Doesn't matter. But I just want to hear people's stories, talk to them about their why and why they do what they do. I got a special guest coming on with me today. Her name is Lesley Nicole. She is a podcaster that has the Pesky Party Hour podcast, and also Show Nuff Divided is the co-host of that. We're going to talk to her about her why, her love in sports, her love in podcasting, ask her some favorite questions, ask her how she deals with certain things. And, she's a huge Red Sox fan, so we'll talk about a little bit about her team too. So without any further ado, I bring to you the wonderful, the talented, the beautiful Lesley. Good evening, Lesley. How you doing? Uh-oh. I can't hear you. Mm-mm. I can't hear you. Take it off on mute. Okay. Mm-mm. Let me see. Can you hear me? Shake your head if you can hear me. Let me see. Oh, yeah. All right. Mm-mm. Nope.
Okay,
Now I hear you. I hear you now.
great. I have no idea what the problem is, but we'll figure it out later.
All right. All right. No worries. No worries. It's good seeing your face. How you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah.
That, that's good to hear. Very good to hear. Okay. How's your week been going? How's your week been going?
It's been good. Yeah. It's a long week, but it makes up for it. I'm actually in Boston next week. So, yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, welcome to my podcast. I really do appreciate it. Work hard, play harder. It's kind of how I live my life. I like to work hard. I like to play hard. And I love talking to different people of all walks of life. Obviously, I'm a journalist, but I'm also a podcaster. And what intrigued me about you was obviously you have two podcast shows, which we'll definitely talk about and we'll get into. But I want to know, first off, your why, right? Why did you start doing the podcasting thing and being able to talk about sports? And where did your love of sports come from? Talk about where that came from.
Yeah. So, my love of sports, I have a really big family. I am one of about 40 cousins on my dad's side. So, large,
Oh, well,
large
damn.
Irish Catholic family.
Okay.
Um, and there are three girls. So there's lots of boys. And if you wanted to, not be in the kitchen or in the house, my grandparents had a farm. So if you wanted to be outside with everybody, you learned how to play sports. And that's really where that love came from. Boston sports, though, that started early as well. I got taken to my first Red Sox game when I was 3, and I was a goner. Um, so yeah, definitely it's been a lifelong journey, being a sports fan. So, and then as for podcasts, I think it was a way for me to talk about sports. So I love talking about sports, and someone gave me a platform to do it. So yeah, that's how that started, and I really like it. So
Okay.
yeah.
Now you mentioned Boston Red Sox. Obviously, um, let me ask you. I want you to name me three of your favorite or your top three Boston Red Sox. I know this is going to be very hard to pin them down, but I want you to give me your top three.
Top three makes it hard. There,
Mhm.
yeah. Top three makes it hard.
Sure,
Um, got to do Poppy,
of course.
David Ortiz. Got to do David Ortiz. I think he could definitely be one of the most important players to ever play for the Red Sox.
Hmm.
Um, top three, man, that really limits me. It's so hard. Um, we'll say Nomar because he was just so much fun to watch. Nomar Garcia Parra.
Okay.
Um, and then I'll pick a pitcher. Um, God, four would be so much easier. I will say, I'll say Pedro Martinez.
So you named two of my favorites. Well, I would say not two. Sorry. Yeah, two of my favorites, which is Poppy and Pedro. I would throw Manny Ramirez in there too.
Well, you only gave me three. So,
I know.
if I'm listing like top five, I'll add Keith Fulk in there. I'll add Tech, and
Right.
Manny.
Right. And I totally understand. That's why I made
Yeah.
three because three was very tough to do. I
Three
did
is
that.
very tough. Three is
Yeah,
very tough.
no question. Okay, I like that. Now, um, what was your? Did you end up going to college?
Yes, yes.
What
I
was
have
your
my
school of
undergrad.
choice?
I'm sorry.
What was your school of choice and why?
My first school of choice where I got my undergrad at was Washburn University. It was close. I got to live at home, which was actually really beneficial since I was paying for it myself.
Okay.
Um, so no room and board cost is a huge plus.
Yeah.
So that's where I have my undergrad from in political science. And then a couple of years ago, I know it's gonna come. A couple of years ago, I decided to go get my master's in government from Harvard. So I am currently working on that.
Wow. So what do you do on a day-to-day basis, if you don't mind me asking? I know you do the podcast and cheer hard for your teams, but what do you do on a day-to-day basis?
I am a project manager at a construction company.
Wow. Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Is that something that you always wanted to do?
No, I feel like I'm good at it. I like to organize people and projects, and so that's a huge part of that job.
Okay.
So it's fun. I have a good time with it. I work with a bunch of guys that like to talk sports as well, so they just like different sports teams than me, so I get to like rub it in a lot, except during football season because they're Chiefs fans. So
Right. I totally understand that. Now, now, if you don't mind me asking, you said going to a Boston. Are you located in Boston?
I'm sorry.
Are you located in Boston right
I
now?
am not. I am not.
Oh, okay. Okay. Are you going out to any Boston games or is Boston coming to you?
Yeah, no, I'm going out to a couple games next week, actually. That's what I'm going out for. And I actually bought myself a quarter season package this year. So I will be at a lot of ball games this summer.
Wow, look at you. Okay. I plan on going out there a couple of times myself. The reason why I plan on going out there because I've never been to Fenway and I want to visit every ballpark. So that's a goal
Yeah.
of mine.
Yeah.
So I've never been to Fenway and I'm definitely going to go out at least I would say in the middle of the week this summer one of these weeks. So if you're out there when I'm out there, I definitely got to hit you up for sure.
Okay. Sounds
I'm
good.
with it. I'm with it. I'm with it.
Yeah.
Let me ask you some favorite things. Okay,
Mhm.
some favorite things that you like to do, and you just tell me what those are off the rip. Okay.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Favorite thing you like to cook?
Lamb, rack of lamb.
Wow, I don't think I've ever had anybody say that on here. Lamb. Okay. All right. What do you make with lamb? Like, what's a side dish with that?
I sometimes I'll do like new potatoes or something like that, but I do a rack of lamb with the cherry glaze, so you really don't need
Mm,
a lot with it.
okay. We're going to have to
Cook
talk
some veggies
offline.
if you want, but yeah.
Okay. Okay. We're going to have to talk offline and see how that's made because I definitely would love to try that. That's for sure. Favorite concert you've ever attended?
Oh gosh, I just actually posted about this. So I am a crazy U2 fan. I mean, I won't even
Okay.
apologize for it. I have been to every tour, not every show, but every tour since the Joshua Tree 1987. So definitely it's a U2 concert. I would say, I mean, I will say the May 2nd, 2018 concert in Tulsa. They played my favorite song and they had never played it live until that moment. So it was really like a full circle moment for me. I often joke it's the song that saved my life when I was, gosh, a tween, basically. I think it came out when I was in middle school. And
Okay.
so it was just this really beautiful moment. It was my 40th birthday year, and I ended up seeing them 3 or 4 times that summer. And they continuously played it at each show, and it was every time I just was filled with so much joy and gratitude for being able to hear
And
them.
what song is that?
It's Acrobat
Oh,
by U2.
okay.
It's a
Yep.
very like if you've never heard it, you might think, why would anybody be this obsessed with this song? But I think just when I heard it that first time when I was, 12 years old or whatever it was, it really hit something in me and I've just loved it ever since. And it's definitely one of my favorite songs in the world. And they, like I said, they never played it live for anything up until that day. And so my mom was actually with me at the show and I just remember like wrapping my arms around her and just being super
Oh,
grateful for that moment.
oh, that's nice. I love that. That's pretty cool. Nostalgia moment. I love that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Favorite place you've ever traveled to?
My favorite place in the world is Boston and or Cape Cod. I really don't differentiate between the two. I've been going to the Cape since I was 3. Um, and it's the place where I find true peace, if that makes sense. Like you just get there and you're just completely relaxed and it's just chill and wonderful and it's my favorite place in the world. So
Okay, okay. Now, if
like
I remember, you're in the Midwest, if I'm mistaken, right?
yes, I am.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, you kind of a distance away from Boston. Is that somewhere you trying to be eventually?
Um Maybe eventually. I just
Okay.
right now I enjoy just visiting there.
o-
Like I've just visited there for so long, it just seems like second nature.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
Definitely, I mean, long term at some point, maybe we'll see.
All right. I'm with that. I'm with that. Just had to throw that out there real quick. Here we
Yeah.
go. You're a sport person. Favorite sport you like to watch on TV. Favorite sport you like to attend in person. They could be the same sport.
I mean, I think it's going to be baseball for both, just because it's kind of a first love thing. I'd say
Okay.
second is hockey, um, both in person and to watch. Honestly, I just moved into this new place and I put out there, I think my neighbors hate me because it's the playoffs and I'm like screaming at the television. Um, and like you said, live in the Midwest. And so they're going, what is on that she's watching
Right.
down
Right.
there?
Hmm.
Yeah. So, but
Okay.
hockey's definitely up there. Love it.
I'm a huge hockey fan. My team is the Blackhawks. We kind of stink. I've always been a Patrick Kane fan, so that's why I love the Blackhawks. Even though Kane no longer plays for the Blackhawks, I totally understand that. But I loved him when they had their run with Kane and Tolles, and those boys as well.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Padres fan because I grew up in California. So San Diego, I remember Tony Gwynn, King Caminetti, Steve Finley, obviously the Hoff is what we called him, but people know him as Trevor Hoffman. I remember that. And I still love the Padres to this day, even though they break my damn heart all the time. So it's okay. I still
We've all
love
been
them.
there. We've all been
Right?
there.
Right? Well, see, we're trying to get a championship with our organization. Y'all got a few with the Red Sox. The Red Sox got a few.
Listen, but we had this whole stretch. Like I said, I mean, I've been a fan since I was 3.
Sure.
And so 3 to 26, I did not have one.
That's very true. Very true. They broke the curse in 04. They broke the curse
in 04. And, I often joke with those guys, like, they've given me everything I always wanted. So.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, I like that. Favorite restaurant that you like to eat at?
I'm going to give you 2 because they're totally different. And they're both, well, one's, I guess, on the East Coast as well. Momofuku in Las Vegas. And milk that kind of goes with that. And then In-N-Out. I love In-N-Out. And we don't have it here, so.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm West Coast, so you ain't got to sweet talk me. In-N-Out is definitely something that I absolutely love. Now, what was that first one? Fuma what?
Momofuku.
Momofuku. Okay, you got to explain to me, Lesley. What the hell is that?
Asian fusion. It's just delicious. So.
Okay.
I finally got to eat there last year when I went to the U2 concert, actually. So.
Okay, I plan on going to Vegas in July. So where's that located at? Like on the Strip?
It's on the Strip. It's in like the Cosmopolitan Casino. It's next to this. I mean, it's just terrible, but it's really close to this. So if you can find this, you'll find Momofuku. It's like across the aisle from Egg Slit. So.
Okay. Got you. I like that. Okay. Did pretty good with the favorites. I like that. Let's talk about your 2 podcasts. Now, what? Okay. So Show Nuff Divided, which you're a co-host on that. And then you got the Pesky Party Hour.
Yes.
So explain to me, first of all, the names of those. How the hell did you come up with the names on that? And then number 2, what is those podcasts about?
So I didn't come up with a name for either one of them.
Okay.
Other people came up with it for me. Show Enough Divided, Willie Upton Jr. is like the moderator and contributor. And then there's 3 co-hosts on that one. And it's all football, and we're all fans of different teams. So I'm the Patriots. Brian is the Jaguars. Tisha's the Chiefs for still some inexplicable reason. And Willie is the Raiders. And so we just like battle it out each week for each game, which kind of sucks for me right now because the Patriots aren't that great. But I still had last year. I still had Belichick, which was glorious. I will love that man till the day I die. And yes, that's what that one's about, and it's so much fun just to talk football. I love football. And then the Pesky Party Hour. It's just a really, I think fun discussion about baseball and or people's favorite games about baseball that they've, played in or watched. And, so that's what that one's about.
Okay. Well, I definitely would love to tune in to the Show Nuff Divided. That is 4 interesting fan bases that you have there with the Raiders, the Chiefs, the Patriots, and the Jaguars.
And we really like it when the Chiefs lose. Like the rest of us 3 just are ecstatic when the Chiefs lose.
I bet you guys are. That right now they're like the Warriors of the basketball. They're the Yankees of the early 2000s. I mean, they're really running things right now. Which, when you have Michael Jordan as your quarterback and Patrick Mahomes, is going to happen like that. Trust me, I'm a Chargers fan. I wish that we would do something with those Chiefs. I wish we would knock their ass out the playoffs many times.
Yeah, but, is Patrick Mahomes great? He is. He's just not Tom Brady. So a comparison.
Now, see, I totally understand that. And listen, Brady is going to be the GOAT of GOATs, right? I have him as my number 2 of all-time quarterbacks. Joe Montana is my 1. But again, I grew up in California. So that's the only person that really can have that type of debate with Brady. right? You
Yes.
can't really put nobody else up there. Joe Montana is the only one. So, but I love that. I love that football dynamic that you talk about. What schedule of games? Now you got the Patriots. Are you going to see any Patriots games?
Probably so. I think I'll make it up to Foxborough. I've never been to Foxborough yet, so I definitely need to make it up there for a couple games. And then I saw the schedule came out, and the schedule announcement was about the cutest thing you've ever seen. If you didn't get to see it, it was Edelman and Gronk and Ernie and Gerard Mayo doing a whole Goodwill Hunting thing, and it was adorable. Jules is like, "Do you like schedules?" and puts it up there on my glass. So it was adorable. But they
Yeah, that
have
was
a
different.
lot
It
of
was
the
different.
nice weather areas like Arizona, California
Hmm.
in the winter. So it might be really nice to go to one of those areas and watch a football game in 60 degrees rather than 20. So
Yeah, I do think there's going to be because I'm gonna be doing an NFL special on my podcast probably in the next 3 or 4 weeks, and where we're going to be kind of breaking down all different kind of division winners, MVP, stuff like that. It's going to be tough sledding for them Patriots this year. There's no question about that. I do think the Bills have came back to the pack a little bit, losing both of their star receivers, but they got a good one in the draft in Keon Coleman. I do think the Miami Dolphins picking up OBJ. Boy, I mean, you just give the rich richer on that offense. I mean, that offense is going to be explosive. No question about it. I got to see how Aaron Rodgers looks as well. And I don't know. How long is it going to take for Drake May to crack the starting lineup?
I mean, not long.
Because they got Brissett. They got Jacoby Brissett in there. I don't know how long. I don't know who's going to be starting.
It can't be worse than what I had. That's all I can say. So
You didn't believe in Mac Jones?
I really wanted to. I really did. Just no.
Okay. Well, if you
I'm in
didn't
this
believe,
to win championships, not
oh
surrender.
well, dear sweetheart, I don't know if that's going to be associated with y'all anytime soon. The word
I know.
championship.
I'm not saying it will be, but let's we got to get
Get the
going.
ball rolling. I feel it. I feel it. Okay. I just wanted to kind of test you and see where you was at with that. Now, you also a big time Boston sports lover. Not only Patriots, not only Bruins, Red Sox, but you also Celtics too.
Yes.
You like the Celtics as well. Now, speaking of championships, that team is on a mission. They look like that they're the team to beat. Now, me, like I said to you in our DMs, I'm a huge Lakers fan. And I grew up that way. Now, obviously, the Lakers and Celtics had a huge rivalry, so I was always taught to dislike the Celtics. Just like probably anybody from Boston was taught to dislike the Lakers. It just is what it is. We respected each other, but it was a dislike. And I'm old school. Like, I'm a historian of the game. So tell me your favorite Celtics Lakers memory that you have, and I'll tell you mine.
So I don't really have one because I didn't grow up a Celtics fan.
Oh,
Yeah.
what fan did you grow up as?
Huh?
What fan did you grow up as?
I was a Bulls fan. Gotta love MJ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that what a time to be alive to watch that group play and win their
Without
championships. That's
question.
great.
Without question.
I am a Celtics fan first and foremost because I became one, obviously spending a lot of time in Boston later, but Paul Pierce is the reason I am a crazy Celtics fan because he was a Jayhawk first. So
Yes, and you do rep your Kansas Jayhawks very well. And yes, Paul Pierce was that. He's also from my home state of California, Inglewood, which is understood. I know that. Like I said, what was your Bulls memory there? What was one? Give me like two of your favorite Bulls memories that you have. Because listen, they won 6 championships in 8 years. I'll tell you mine after you tell me yours.
I'll just go with the big one because it was such a fun game. And actually, I was listening to Games with Names a couple weeks ago, and this was the game, and I was like, "This is the most fun game to watch." The Shrug game, where he scores like 63 points in a game. So that's my favorite.
Okay, so is that the NBA Finals against Portland, the Shrug game?
Could be. I don't even remember who they were playing. I just remember his, he's like
Okay,
dominating the whole
okay,
time.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. That is definitely a good game. No question. I would say probably my favorite memory of him. I would probably say, man, there's so many, but actually, the game that he lost, that would be the 69-point game. That he had 69 points. He scored his career high versus Cleveland. They actually lost that game, the Bulls. But it was one of my favorite games to watch because not only did he have 69 points, but he damn near had 20 rebounds too. So I was like, geez. I was like, that's crazy. So that's one of my favorite memories for sure. And then just a note for the Lakers Celtics, definitely the 2010 NBA Finals. That was my favorite memory, no question. Game 7, we come back, we're down. I remember watching that game, crazy. So yes, I remember watching that. So yes, that's my favorite memory for sure. Talk about mental health. Now you're a project manager, so obviously you work through the day diligently. Morning, get off, morning to evening, you work all week long. Then you do these podcasts. You got people, basically talking crap about your team sometimes, and sometimes they write, sometimes they troll. Talk to me about your mental health and how do you keep a strong mental health and not get burnt out by, or get too over emotional watching your sports teams?
Yeah. I mean, I think you just have to go in knowing, and I was just talking to someone about this the other day. I'm very superstitious, but at some point you realize it's not like you can't control who's going to win the game, even though I'd really like to be able to control who wins the game. And I
Right.
wear the same thing and drink the same thing or whatnot and be in the same place when I'm watching a game. But ultimately, it's the players. And I know that it's just, superstition. You just have to let
Mm-hmm.
the rest of the stuff roll off your back, though, because nobody is going to agree 100% with anything you ever do, right?
Sure.
It doesn't matter if it's politics or sports or, you know, what kind of music you like. Everybody's going to have their own opinion, and that's perfectly fine.
Right.
What makes everybody go around anyway. So I think you just have to let it roll off your back. I mean, if someone doesn't like me, you can really, it's easy. Just click that unfollow button. You don't have to follow me. You could just stop. And that's what confounds me is someone put out there like some comment. And I'm going, I mean, is that a compliment? Probably not. So just there's no need. I don't understand why you're following me if you're going to say that.
Right.
It's like super easy. So the rest of it, I think you just have to do that. Um, I like working out though. I swam through college even
Okay.
competitively, and I was also a ballerina for 14 years. So
Wow.
working out is a huge aspect of my life. In fact, that's where I was for the last Bruins game because the stress was killing me. So I was like, I'm just going to work out. I'm going to go work out. And then I couldn't leave because they were winning.
Right. Right.
But yeah, so I'll work out through it.
I love it. I love working out too. No question about it. I like writing poetry as well. I like taking walks. Like you said, I don't never really take anything too seriously. Of course, I'm a fan. I want my teams to win, but
Yeah.
you kind of understand that like you said, you have no control over the game. You're just trying to watch it for entertainment as a fan,
As
and
much
really,
as I would like control of the game and, be able to think, well, I'm sitting
sure,
right here, right? So they're obviously going to win. They're not going to let me down.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I totally understand that. Okay, I totally do. I want to get to this or that, and what this or that is that I'm gonna throw two things at you, and you choose one or the other. Are you with me?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Okay, here we go. Popeyes or KFC?
KFC, I guess.
You guess. What you mean?
I don't really like fried chicken, so
Oh, that's why. Okay, okay. I got you. You're not like a vegetarian, are you?
no, no.
Oh, okay.
Like
I just wanted to make sure. 'Cause I didn't want to disrespect you by asking you about meat, and then you're
Oh
a vegetarian.
God, no. No, I love, yeah, I make lamb, so no, I'm not a vegetarian.
Okay, cool, cool. All right, I'm with it. Next question. Peyton Manning or Joe Burrow?
Oh, Joe Burrow.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's interesting. I think I would have chose Peyton Manning. I would have chose that, but that's okay. Like you said, teach his own. I'm with that. Next quarterback, would you rather have Trevor Lawrence or would you rather have CJ Stroud?
Mm, mm. I'll say CJ.
Okay, okay. They're two really good quarterbacks, girl. You made your face. Why you make a face like that? They're two really good quarterbacks.
All right, just you have to pick one. So CJ, I'll pick CJ.
Okay, all right. I'm just making sure. Okay, here we go. These next four have to do with concerts that
Okay.
you rather attend. Now, which concert would you rather attend? Would you rather go see I would say the Eagles, or would you rather go see Def Leppard?
Oh, Eagles.
Okay. Okay. I like that. I like it. I like it. Would you rather see Brandy or Monica? R&B. Which one would you rather see?
Brandy. I think Brandy.
Okay. I like that. Very definitive. All right. Who would you rather see in concert? Would you rather go see Janet Jackson or Whitney Houston?
We'll go
Ooh,
Janet.
Okay. Okay. That made you think a little bit. You weren't as definitive on that one, but both of them are great. Both of them are great. Okay. Which one would you rather go see in concert? Would you rather see Luke Bryan or Carrie Underwood?
Luke Bryan.
Oh, okay. All right. Which sport would you rather play? Badminton or bowling?
Badminton.
Wow, you are in the minority on that one. Okay, are you good at badminton?
I don't know if I'm good at it, but it's certainly more fun than bowling for me. So
Okay, all right. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. I can play a little bit, that's for sure. Okay. Are you a desserts person?
I make dessert, but yes. Yeah, I occasionally will eat dessert.
Okay. The reason why I'm asking is because I got four desserts I'm gonna throw at you.
Okay.
One of these you'll have to choose that you can never eat again. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Here we go. Cookies is one, cakes is two, ice cream is three, the last one is candy. Which one are you throwing away that you'll never eat again? Mm,
If you would have
this
said
one,
pie, it would have been so easy.
this one got you thinking a little bit. I like that.
Yeah, yeah. We will say, I'll say cake.
Okay, okay. I like you. I like that. All right.
I make great cake, like I'm a baker. But yeah, we'll say cake because cookies you can really do anything with. So.
Yeah, cookies and ice cream is a definite for me. You cannot throw those away at all.
Yeah.
It would definitely be, you can't throw those away at all.
Yeah.
It would definitely be between cake and candy. So I totally understand that. What's your favorite cake to make?
I make an Italian wedding cake that's really good.
Okay, you make sure, Lesley, we keep in contact now because I definitely will make sure we do that now. Wow, I love me some cake now. I do. I just have to say that. Here we
Italian
go.
wedding cake's great because it has like the broken up pecans in it and the coconut. So yeah, it's good.
Okay, I'm with that. I'm with that. All right. Are you a potato chip person? Do you like potato chips?
I mean, I like them. I try not to eat them.
Okay. So here we go. If
Okay.
you had to eat them and you had to get rid of one of these, okay? Cheetos is the first one. Doritos is the second one. Ruffles is the third one. Lay's is the fourth one. Which brand are you getting rid of that you'll never eat again?
Lay's.
Okay. Okay. I'm getting rid of Cheetos, but I like that. The Lay's, okay. I'm with you on that. I am.
Ruffles, it's still a potato chip, so you've got that, and then Doritos, you've got Cool Ranch in there, which you can't get rid of that.
That's my second best chip ever. Cool Ranch Doritos is my second best chip, no question. My first best would probably be Ruffles, sour and cream and onion. Cheddar, sour cream and onion.
All
No
right.
pressure. That's my first best. Okay. What time does these podcasts normally happen? The two different podcasts, like we can definitely like be able to check out.
Yeah, so I'll start with Pesky Party Hour. It's not a set schedule. So it's really, especially during baseball season, depending on who I have on, like if it's a former player or commentator or something like that, we kind of have to go with their schedule. Or other podcaster. I just had Steve Peralta on last week. And he is one of the co-hosts of, everybody knows this, but Section 10, which is like the OG of baseball podcasts. So it's super fun. So that one's kind of dependent on people's, availability.
Okay.
Show Enough Divided is during football season and it's on Mondays. So
Wow. Okay.
like
So is
7.
it on Mondays during the game? Like, are you guys talking during the game?
No. Thank goodness. It's got
Okay.
nothing live. So you just
Okay. Okay. Because I know they do Monday Night Football, and Monday night comes on like 8 something. So what time do you guys normally do this?
Yeah. So usually we start about 6 Central.
Oh, okay. So you go a little bit before the game comes on. Okay.
Yeah, 6 Central, 7 Eastern. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I like that. I do. All right. That's what's up. Now, let's talk about the Red Sox for a minute. Now, obviously, the Red Sox, the Yankees are starting off pretty hot right now in baseball. Obviously, doing pretty good. What is your prediction of what the Red Sox is going to be? Like realistic prediction, because to me, this year, especially with baseball's been kind of down. Not really a lot of dominant teams in baseball this year. What is your prediction with the Red Sox?
Yeah, I definitely think they're gonna. I mean, we were talking about this. I was talking about this on another podcast, but going in, I really thought we were going to have a very challenging year with pitching.
Yep.
And it hasn't been that way at all. In fact, tip of the cap to Andrew Bailey. I will say this the entire year. He has done a phenomenal job with our pitchers, and just phenomenal, honestly. Yeah, it's been great. I think they make a playoff run. We're on course. We could definitely, if they kind of stay with this, maybe a little bit better, we can definitely do a playoff run. Don't know how far they get, but I think we make a playoff run this year. I've been bought in since the second game in Seattle with this team, so I'm really hoping they don't let me down at this point. But I'm used to it if they do. So I had it my whole childhood. I'm good.
I totally understand that. I do. So I do think the pitching has surprised me a little bit. Not gonna lie, it definitely surprised me. They definitely have had that. They've struggled with runs, with scoring runs in their batting. Rafael hasn't been the dominant player that I wanted him to be this season, or thought that he
Correct.
could be. Devers, for those of you that don't know, Rafael Devers. Yeah, and I think that they've just struggled in the offensive category, which has me a little worried about them making the playoffs. There's only 5 spots and there's 15 teams in the American League, so you know that there's going to be 3 division winners. I don't know if they're going to make a wild card spot, because if I look at their team, I cannot definitively say that they're better than the Blue Jays. I don't know if the Royals have really shocked me this year too. They're playing some really good baseball right now. But the
They'll be done
West,
by May. End of May, they'll be.
you think so?
Yeah, this happens with the Royals sometimes. They'll have a great April, May, and then.
Okay. Well, okay. What do you think?
I
What do you
don't
think about
hate
the
them.
West?
I don't want people to think I hate the Royals. I don't particularly like going there, but
Right.
just because they hate every other fan base with passion and they're mean. But yeah, I don't see that lasting with the Royals. So
Okay.
yeah, I really do. I think the Sox. I mean, I know they lost again tonight, but I think they're going to, especially once they're done with their injuries. Like everybody's been injured, we can stop with that now, and
Yeah.
Get everybody
Yeah.
healthy and back to playing the ball we did in April. I think it'll be great.
Okay. I'm with you on that. All right. Well, definitely got to keep my eyes on the Red Sox.
I bought
Right
in, so
now,
I'm good. I'm
well,
not
well,
gonna
listen.
hate on him now.
Well, Lesley, that don't surprise me that you bought it. I mean, that just don't surprise me. I mean, that's like saying that I'm going to wake up black tomorrow. That's absolutely not going to be a shock when I go to sleep.
Last year I was not as bought in as I am this year. The last year
Really?
was painful as a Red Sox fan. So
Oh, well, yeah. Last year, you just absolutely sucked. I mean, let's
yeah,
just call it what it is. It was bad. It was awful
yeah,
for the
yeah.
Red Sox. Now, mind you, like we said, the positive has been the pitching. The pitching for the Red Sox has
Yeah, if
been
I can get the
something.
bats to wake up, if I can get the defense to be good at field and the
Yes,
batters to be good at hit,
yes.
we're going to be unstoppable.
And you're gonna need some help too, because I think the Yankees are gonna have to slow down a little bit from winning because they're dominating that AL East right now.
They are.
Um,
We've
so
been there before. So
right, so and that's
yeah,
true too. That's very true. So it's very early in the season. There's still 100+ games, I believe, left in the season.
yeah,
So
it's May, and that's
it
what
is.
I keep trying to let everybody know. It's just May. I mean, it feels like it could be the All-Star break with
Mhm.
the rest of us, and anybody that has like a city that's going through playoffs right now. I feel like with the different things, like tonight was the odd night, so I think it's tonight and then the 18th where there's not a Celtics and or Bruins game,
Sure.
and so it's the night to relax and kind of chill out, and we're back at it tomorrow.
Do they need to make a trade? Do you think they need to make a trade at the trade deadline or something to upgrade their team?
Um, I think that's a question of where we are as that gets closer. Um, I would have said, like before the season started, I would have said yes, we got to do something with pitching at the trade deadline, and that's it. I
Hmm.
don't know, especially once we get people back
Okay.
from their injury stints. I don't
Okay.
know. It just depends on how things go. And I always say that, but it just depends on how things go. Like Tyler O'Neill, just amazing. Yeah, he's
He's
amazing.
been a surprise for
Uh,
sure for me, for
so
sure.
when he was out after that collision in the outfield, which I had on in my car and I was driving to go get my tea, and I see it happen as I'm sitting at a red light, and I'm like, you know, and then like watching the replay as I was getting my tea. You could tell like with the team that he was out. And I
Right.
feel the same way with Tristan Casas, even though he's not my favorite player on the team. His absence is just so noticeable that we have to get that back together. So,
Especially defensively, I would
yeah.
think so. More so than offensively with him. But
I don't know. I really feel like it's the bat. It's hit for Tristan Casas. I feel like sometimes with fielding, especially at first, the problem was I think Bobby Dahlbeck was great at field. He just wasn't spectacular at hit. Um, poor guy was just going through a slump, and so that sucked. But he was pretty good at
right,
first and third for that matter. So having him on the team wasn't bad. The problem is they're not replacing. Like they sent Bobby D back down, and so I'm not. They haven't replaced him with anybody that's a lot better. So I
that's
really
right.
just need Tristan Casas back,
And
which I
and
never
you
thought
know
I would say, honestly, because I will complain about Tristan Casas probably the second he walks back on that field.
you probably
Uh,
will.
but I miss him now, so
Sure, you need all your horses in the stable. That's
I
to
need
say
them all there. I need them
you
all
need them
there.
all there. That's for sure. Okay. What advice would you give somebody that wants to start a podcast? Right, you have 4 people on one. You have a couple others with you on another one. What advice would you want to give somebody that wants to start a podcast that loves talking about sports? That is kind of like on the fence a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think anybody can do it, right? I mean, you just go to StreamYard, you create your free account or whatever, Zoom or whatever you want to do, but you have to have passion about what you're talking about. Um, and I don't even think you have to be an expert about it. I think as long as you're passionate about it, that's what's really going to come through. Um, but you have to have that love for it. And I don't, I mean, it's not just with sports. People talk about all sorts of things, but
Mhm.
for me, it's sports. Um, and so you have to have that love for it, and you have to be willing to like fight a little bit for it, because no one knew me from, Adam, honestly. And so you have to be willing to like put yourself out there and make connections, um, and be okay with someone saying no, because that's honestly the worst thing they're going to say to you.
Sure.
Um, and if that's the worst thing someone can say to you, that's really not that bad, you know? Um, so, I mean, I think that's where I would start. And then, get your fan base, follow other podcasts that you like listening to. I mean, for example, I love a whole bunch of different ones with sports. So
Yep.
Locked
Absolutely.
On Patriots, love that one. Love Games with Names, love the Foxborough Fellas, um, Dynasty Proud, and um, all of my other BSEN ones that I'm blanking on at the moment. So I apologize, but like Games with Names, Julian Edelman's podcast, the Kelsey Brothers podcast. I listen to
Sure.
them all
Absolutely.
because you can always learn something from someone else.
Yep.
And you're not stealing their material, but you're thinking about how can you make yours better, or how can you adapt yours to make it how you want it to be. And I was really, for mine personally, the Pesky Party Hour, I wanted it to have that like fun atmosphere.
Yep.
And so, like, I'll ask my guests, what would you like to talk about? Because if I'm going to say we're going to talk about the last series and you have no interest in talking about that whatsoever, no one's going to want to watch that, because they're going to realize about 5 minutes in that that's not something that you were interested in talking about.
Right.
So if you want to talk about your favorite game at Fenway, or if you want to talk about, your favorite playoff game or whatever, that honestly lends more authenticity to anything you're going to talk about in general. And I'll do my research, and if I don't know about the game for some inexplicable reasons, especially if it's the Red Sox, because I've been following them since 1981,
Mm.
then I'll research it and figure it out and get all my information about it. But you just have to kind of put yourself out there, and if you like sports or whatever it is, just follow other ones and be willing to learn and ask questions. And
Oh yeah.
I mean, I feel it's a lot like if someone wanted to be an actor for some inexplicable reason, because it sounds horrible to me. But you have to not be afraid of someone telling you no.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No is
That's
inevitable in this business. No
in
question about it.
anything, someone's going to tell you no. And I just had put this out on my Facebook page because I'm this way in general, but I'm not great about telling people no, but I'm okay hearing it.
Hmm.
So like I will just hardly ever say no to someone because I feel like I'm just gonna let them down. Um, but I'm okay hearing it. Like I expect it to be a no. So if it's not, I'm like, oh, this is great. Okay, we're gonna do that.
Right.
Yeah. Just if you
Okay.
go in thinking it's gonna be disappointment and it's not, it's
Hmm. Okay. I understand that. I do. That there's a lot of people like that that's struggle with telling people no,
yes.
but no, but can accept it. So I've met a lot of people like that, and so that's very good advice. I really like that. First time I'm ever going to do this on my Work Hard, Play Harder podcast, but this is called Rapid Fire.
Okay.
And what it is we're going to throw some topics out. We're going to throw some things out. And then you just give me what comes to your mind, the very first thing that comes to your mind. Okay.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Talk to me about your favorite Red Sox game.
Oh, without question, I was at Game 7 of the 2004 ALCS in New York. So
Mhm.
they won it all.
Okay.
It was magic. Lots of
Absolutely.
crying. It was the most beautiful game I've ever been to.
Absolutely. When Johnny Damon hit that grand slam, I believe that was in game 7. I was like, ooh, they might do this. This
Yeah,
might be
yeah.
real.
When he followed up, I think it was maybe David Ortiz's homer. I can't remember, but he hit the grand slam, and you definitely had, as a Red Sox fan, that moment of is this really happening? Like, this is going to be amazing.
Mhm. Yep.
Which did lead to, letting me see them win the World Series, which,
Absolutely.
I was in Iowa. I was campaigning for a presidential candidate at the time. And so we had gone to like Field of Dreams that day, and knowing like in the back of my head that it's game four of the world. Like, is this really going to happen? Um, and so we were like back at the hotel, and it was like one of those magical days. Like Bon Jovi was there performing, and I cannot think of his actual name, but Berger from Sex and the City was one of the guest speakers. And so you had like all of this happening, and um, it just was like this out of like normalcy kind of day. And so then we all went
Okay.
back to the hotel. My mom happened to be with me that particular day. And I was just like, go back out to the room. We were just watching the game, and I was crouched on the bed, just like squatting for that last 3 outs, and like counting down like 2 outs, and then it's 1 out, and this is happening. And so then, I leaped off the bed and tore a tendon in my foot and never ever danced ballet again.
I love
So
it. I love it. That's
totally
amazing.
worth
That's
it. It
amazing.
was worth every single pain and the surgery that I had years later for it, and worth every single thing to have that moment of, I've waited my entire life for this, and this is
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Coming up
and
on the
then I told
20-year
every single New
anniversary of
Yorker
that.
I knew, and was like, we're world champions. How does that feel? Uh,
Okay. I like that. That's pretty cool.
it
Different, but I like that. Okay. What was your heartbreak Red Sox game?
oh gosh, 1986.
Okay. For
Um,
those for those that don't know, 1986 is when the Red Sox made it to the World Series against the Mets. They had the famous play at first base where the ball went right through his legs.
we're not going to
No
talk about
question.
it.
No question.
So my brother and I were obviously very small. I mean, my brother was 5 when this happened.
Mhm.
But my parents were like, they're not going to mess this up, and it's going to be this beautiful moment these kids are going to remember forever. And
Mhm.
so they woke us up to watch it. I mean, because we were small, so we were in bed like any person that had their kids in bed at that point. So they got us up, and we watched it, and it was just heartbreak. And then I would say 2003 was the definite second to that.
Well, no question about that. That Aaron Boone home run was
Oh,
something else. That was a hell of a game 7. A hell of a game 7 in that year,
yeah,
which set up the very next year
it
between
did.
those two things. No question.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What did you think about Tom Brady comments about regretting the roast? Now, I saw the roast. I thought the roast was funny as hell. But
It was hilarious, and I don't mind his comment at all.
okay.
Um, and I'll tell you what. So I got divorced this last year,
Oh,
and I don't think that anybody knows what goes on in a marriage except for that couple,
without
right?
question.
You can have your opinions. Everybody can have their opinion, like I said earlier. Um, but no one really knows what happened except for the people in that marriage. And so his comment of, what divorced dad that this happened to, that's his story. So that's what he wants to go with. And I thought it was hilarious. I mean, I watched the whole thing, and I thought it was
Yep.
funny as hell, honestly.
I
And
did too.
to
I did
think
too.
that someone's, saying it was all about Giselle. I mean, she definitely had her moment in that, but they hit Belichick, and they hit Mr. Kraft, and Jules and Gronk took a bunch of hits. Let's get real. Um, that's just what a roast is. I mean, so you had to know going in that that was going to be part of it. And I don't fault him for doing it. I think
No,
it was
his
hilarious.
comments of regretting it is kind of was like, Tom, come on, Brady. You knew what was going to happen when you
See,
sat
I
your
haven't
ass.
seen that comment. I've seen the one where, why would I not have done it? I mean, they were gonna say things
Oh,
about my wife. So I
okay.
hadn't seen it. But yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think you're gonna regret it. You knew exactly what was gonna happen because they've been roasting people like this for decades.
right. Right. I think he regretted it because of his kids, is what came out as far as the reports. He said his
I
kids
know
was
that your kids should
unhappy.
have been watching that no matter who was getting roasted.
Right. So it to me, okay, you say that, but again, Brady, you knew that Giselle was probably gonna get hit. You knew you was gonna get hit. Everybody on that stage got hit.
Yeah.
That's what comedians do. And you just knew it was coming. So that's why I was like, Tom, I can't really roll with you on that one, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just gonna have to take the hits. You probably wouldn't do it again. I get it, but it was funny as hell, man. It was a great roast. And you made good money off that roast too. I know you did. So
Yeah.
it is what it is on that.
I could have watched the whole thing simply for Julian Edelman doing his Belichick impersonation to Belichick, probably for one of the first times anyway.
Wow.
So
Yeah. I thought
that
Nikki
was
Glazer was
fantastic.
good. I thought
Yeah,
she was good.
Jules is my favorite, like former
Mhm.
Patriot.
Okay.
So he just had that, the fight in him about him, and
Okay.
it's one of my favorites, and I just think he's funny. And um, so to hear the impression, because I've been hearing it on Games with Names for like so long now, and then
Hmm.
he did it on like the Kelsey Brothers podcast. To be able to sit there and Foxborough High is the only job offer you had was fantastic. And like I said, love Bill Belichick more than probably most people. So
Absolutely. Now, speaking of comments, of more of the rapid fire, Harrison Bucker made some comments about women being in the kitchen and being in this and that and the third. What you thought about his comments at his speech that he gave?
just my opinion, because like I said, people can say whatever they want. Doesn't mean I have to agree with it. Doesn't mean anybody has to agree with it.
Sure.
Probably not the thing to say to women who just graduated college, which is an accomplishment by any person, not just
Yeah.
women, which apparently was a concept not known to him. And all I could think was, the first thing I thought about it was, and yet another reason not to like the Chiefs, quite honestly. To me, the only reason to like the Chiefs at this moment is Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. And I'm not even a Swiftie. So
Mm.
what would possess any person to say that about an entire gender of people? I just don't even understand. Um, yeah, I mean, one of the best ones I saw was, I didn't realize I was not a real person or not a whole person until I married my husband. I'm sorry I didn't know that when I got my undergrad and my master's and my doctorate in neurology. Guess I wasn't a real person until that, the ring went on my finger.
Yeah. When Buddy said those comments, I mean, it was more comments made on Twitter by another guy that stood up for Bucker. But clearly he was out of pocket with what he said. I mean,
It's
it's
bad when the
ridiculous.
NFL has to put out a statement. These aren't the views of the NFL.
That's where I was going. The NFL put out a statement talking about, well, we don't share the same sentiments as he do. But if you got to put out, like you said, a comment like that from the NFLPA, that means he said some comments that's just plain ass stupid. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to get your take on that to see that. Now, got a couple more for the rapid fire. Okay. Now, Patriots. What do you think as far as their record would be? How many wins you predict this year?
I don't even want to guess, quite honestly, because I'm going to be disappointed. I'm definitely of the mindset I want my old team back. I want Gronk and Jules and Brady and
You go.
Belichick. I want Ernie back. I want them all back.
Lesley, we got to stop living in nostalgia now. Those guys ain't coming through that door. The old Rick Pitino press conference. Kevin McHale's not walking through that door. Bill Belichick's not walking through that door.
I think they'll definitely be better than last year. I really do. So that's something. I will settle for that. Just be better than last year. Be better than last year.
That's pretty broad.
I did see that they were bringing back the old
broad.
red jerseys, though, and if that's not a win, I don't know what is. I mean, those jerseys are fire. So
yeah, they look a hell of a lot better than the Giants jerseys. Those Giants jerseys look like trash. I don't know what they were thinking coming out with those.
The Jets jerseys that are trash, but
I mean, they're well. Hold on, I will push back a little bit. The white one, are trash. The green ones I like. The green ones are fire. I like
It's
those.
mostly because I just don't like the Jets, but
And you should, because they're in your division, and I totally understand that. I
yeah.
feel the same way about the Raiders. I don't hate the Broncos. I don't hate the Chiefs, but I damn sure hate the Raiders. If there's any hate, it's definitely in that Las Vegas team because they just have a fan base that's so damn annoying. I can't stand their fan base.
Yeah.
It is. That's the Raiders. But I know you got a guy that's on your podcast that's a Raiders fan, but I mean, I just can't stand it. I just can't stand it. Okay.
Well, I grew up in
But
Oakland, so
I digress. I mean, but I respect that. You got to
yeah.
rep for your. I respect that. Okay. So last of the rapid questions, the Celtics. A lot of people are kind of doubting them a little bit to win it all. I think that they are going to win it all. Do you think that they're going to win it all? Because I don't. Right now they're playing up and down, but I do think they're going to win it all. Do you think they're going to win it all?
I think they're going to come close. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say yes just because the superstition will not let that happen. But I think they're going to come close. I mean, I have the highest of high hopes. In fact, I just ordered especially coming from Kansas, I am a huge Ted Lasso fan, huge Jason Sudeikis fan. And so I ordered the Celtics version of the Believe. So it's like a gray shirt with the Believe, and it's great.
Okay.
I am a huge Ted Lasso fan. And so I have the highest of hopes that they're going to do that. They've already made it further than they did last year. So it's going to be good.
Well, what? No. Well, they made it to the same spot.
Well, they're going to make it further than they did.
They're gonna make it further, okay? Because they played Miami in the conference finals, but Miami beat them and went to the finals. So now they're back in the conference finals, but they're not playing Miami this year.
They're not
They're gonna play
playing
either those.
Miami.
No, they're gonna play Knicks. They're gonna play Pacers. One of those two. I think the Knicks, in my opinion, but you just never know. You never know how things go for sure.
I think we're gonna do it, but
I like it. Okay. And listen, by the way, like I said, I've never said anybody looks good in a Celtic uniform outside of you. I never said that in a
it's
jersey.
just the Paul Pierce thing. It's just it's the jersey. It's the jersey. It's a Paul
I
Pierce thing.
can't. It was hard for me, Lesley, to make that comment about you. It was hard. I'm trying to tell you. I mean, I love KG. I love Paul Pierce. They're two of my favorite players. Obviously, Paul Pierce was with the Celtics always. KG was a Wolf first, then traded to Boston. So I followed their games as I was growing up.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh man, I could not root for them Celtics. I really could. But I respect those two for sure. And I respect Al Horford as well. I do like Al Horford. He's really good.
Yeah.
So
I love them all. I love them all.
So I'm gonna get you out of here on these last two questions.
Okay.
And the last question, or last two questions. This next question that I have for you is, what is coming up for you? Like, what is something that you're working on, or something that you want to do with your podcast? What is the type of show that you want to have on your podcast? What are some social medias you want to throw out there as far as people to follow you and follow the podcast?
Yeah, I'll hit the socials first. So at Pesky Party Hour is the podcast one, and then at Cape Cod __ girly is my Twitter account.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you want to follow me and listen to me rant on about all Boston sports, please follow me there. You'll occasionally get the movie review or something like that. I did spend my gap year working for Robert Redford at Sundance. So
wow.
I have this love for movies. It was super fun year. And so that's that. As for the podcast, I have some really fun guests coming up. But I keep those secret until we get dates. And so can't say that, but they are two former players. So it's going to be super fun. Both of them are doing commentating now. So definitely have a good time with that.
Okay.
And I hope to have on some regulars on the podcast throughout the summer. I hope to do some from Boston while I'm up there, because I plan on being up there almost every weekend, summer long.
Wow, look at
Yeah,
you. Okay.
yeah, and taking time off and going into the Cape, probably over 4th of July weekend because it's the most fun time to be there. That in August. And so yeah, so I hope to just be spending a lot of time in New England this summer and living that dream out. So
Okay. Well, I know I definitely wouldn't mind being on one of those podcasts for sure. I wouldn't mind that. I don't know if you bring on different guests like myself, but if you do, I definitely wouldn't mind talking a little bit of sports with you and shooting. It's just basically shooting the shit with you and talking like that because I love joining different podcasts. I have been on some, so I wouldn't mind that.
okay. Yeah.
Now, I also want to ask you this: um, what is some advice that someone has gave you that you've held on to dearly?
Oh gosh. I think what I said earlier about not being upset if someone says no to you, I think that's huge because
Hmm?
you're going to get told no and you just cannot take it super personal. And I mean, don't mean like with your fiance or something, calling off a wedding or whatever. I mean, just like in general, people are going to tell you no. They're going to tell you no, you can't have a promotion, or no, you can't do this or that. And depending on what it is, if you're okay with it, you just have to be, you have to have the mindset that you're going to get told no. I just, it's, it's just life. In general. Um, Other advice, you can't take things so personally.
Okay,
Um, I think we've gone a little crazy with that. You cannot take everything so personal. It's not a conspiracy against you, whomever it is. It's just everybody has their opinions, and you just have to let things roll off your back a little
sure,
bit. I mean, I understand
sure,
getting upset with things like the Butker thing just irritates me to no end. But again, he can say that. I don't have to agree with him. So it's fine.
absolutely. He has that First Amendment right to say what he
Has
feels.
that
No question.
right. And yeah, don't have to agree with it, but he is welcome to say it. And just,
Sure.
I don't have to listen to it. Like it was so easy. Just, I don't have to listen to that crap and turn the channel.
Right, right. And
Um, yeah,
yeah, and there's people that just want to. Normally, when you hear silliness like that, in my opinion, you don't feed into it. There's some people that just like to feed into the BS for
yeah,
some of these people, I guess because of who they are and their status and whatnot. But
yeah,
I don't feed into BS like that. I mean, it's nothing positive that can come from that. Right. Once you
right.
say
And
your piece, you can keep it moving.
yeah. And then I think just to be a kind person, I just don't see the point of being mean to be mean.
Right. Right.
And I think a lot of people, especially with the gift of social media and the anonymity that comes with that, I
Mhm.
think that people feel like they can just be mean to be mean, and I just don't see the point.
Sure.
You can be
Sure.
truthful, and sometimes that can come across as like curt or maybe even a little mean. But
Hmm.
there's obviously a difference. I think the bullying is like out of control, and people just need to get a life. Honestly, I just don't even see. I don't see the point of it. Um,
Absolutely. I'm one
just
thousand
be
percent agree.
kind. Just be a kind person. It's so easy.
It
Just
is.
be kind.
And people hide behind the computers now. That's what social media does. It gives them a
Yeah.
platform to hide and be able to say some of those mean things and mean tweets and different things of that nature. But like you said, it's real easy to click that button to unfollow. It's real easy to
Unfollow. I mean, you don't like me, just unfollow. There's no need to be mean about it.
right, right.
And like, I don't really have a lot of that going on, but you see other people's comments on other pages, and you're just unfollow them if it bothers you that much. Like, why even put the effort towards it?
Without
Um,
question.
and that's why I ended up liking Twitter. I'm always going to call it Twitter in the first place. Was you can find your niche of things you like to talk about or read about or tweet about. And for me, that's sports and baseball and stuff like that. Um, so that's what I use it for. There's all these other things that people are involved with that I have just no idea. I'm just in
Right.
my own world about it. Um, so the fact that someone will take the time just to be mean is just so unnecessary, in my opinion. I will
Sure.
never in my life understand the effort that people go to be a hateful person. When all you have to do is just unfollow or move on or whatever.
Yep.
You know, I mean, do I like the Yankees? I do not, but I don't go actively to a Yankee person's page and say anything.
I feel that.
Point.
I do. Now, okay, I do have a bonus question, and you don't have to tell me their names, but you said you had 2 former players. I just want to know the teams. I want to know the sports. Are they from baseball, basketball, football? What is it?
It's baseball. They both played for the Red Sox at different points, but they also played for other teams.
Okay, that's all I want to know. All right, That's all right. I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to hearing that. I really do appreciate your time here. I love talking sports with you. I love getting to know you a little bit about your different podcasts, some things that you like. You definitely don't like bowling. You're a badminton person. And I love the fact that you are very opinionated, very open, and very transparent with a lot of different issues. It's really a pleasure talking to you. I'm definitely going to stay in touch with you because I'm sure we're going to cross paths at some point. And when we do, we'll say hello, have a beer, and enjoy some good sports.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
No problem. Take care and enjoy your Thursday evening, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.